It is official, ladies and gentlemen. Cody Rhodes has officially been released from WWE. Now, if you watch my channel on a regular, you will notice that I did post about this yesterday. I uploaded a video, but today I wanted to gloss over what I said yesterday, and I want to mention an organization that I forgot to mention. So I completely forgot to mention Lucha Underground. You would think that it fits into what I said about Mexico, but it does not, because Lucha Underground is based out of LA, and that would be Los Angeles here in the United States. And I'm hearing a lot of rumblings that he is supposedly going to go to Lucha Underground. There are rumors that he's already been offered a job there, and I think he'd be a perfect fit for Lucha Underground. He definitely has the acting chops for it. Um, Whatever character he chooses to go with, I think he will be able to portray it in that arena and in that area, in that corporation, if you will. So I think Lucha Underground is probably his best bet because I think they'll be able to pay him well. He'll be able to act, and he can do good work for them in the ring as well. He's always been good as a cruiser, and when facing other cruisers. I said that he would have to retrain if he goes to Mexico yesterday, and I still think he would, because Mexico is the fans like high flying stuff a lot more, but I think the fans in LA would let it pass, whereas the fans in Mexico would not. So I think that if he were to go to Mexico, he would have to learn some more high flying moves, whereas in Lucha Underground, he should work just fine with what he has now because he has the charisma, he has the acting ability, and he knows how to work in the ring. You know what I mean? So just to gloss over, just like a quick wrap up of what I think about this and where he could possibly go. Uh, I think I was going to say that he could retire and have a child with his wife, but I did read his Twitter reply, which was very scathing, and I guess I should talk about that for a bit. I'm sorry, I'm just winging it here. But he said that the two writers didn't want to let him be Cody Rhodes, which I will eat crow because I thought he was very good at the Stardust gimmick, but apparently he didn't want that gimmick. He wanted to be Cody Rhodes, which I don't think is a problem. I think he would have been great as Cody Rhodes. He's always been great as Cody Rhodes. Even when he was dashing, he was pretty good. Um, so I think that the WWE missed an opportunity in just having him be Cody Rhodes. The guy's good. I wouldn't say he's like amazing or great, but he's very good. And I think he has the opportunity to prove himself to be amazing and or great in any place that he goes. There was a couple lines in his Twitter post that really stood out to me. He said he was referring to his father, Dusty Rhodes, and he said um what was it? Let me see. Give me a second here. I'm going to look through my phone. I had it on my phone. Just going to read through my notes, but it was a very good Twitter response or reply or letter or whatever you want to call it. And if you haven't read it, I suggest you read it. It's very entertaining. He speaks very eloquently, and it's amazing. It's very well worded. He says when referring to his father, "It's not my job to pick up his sword. It's my privilege." I think that is a very strong line, and I think it shows how passionate he is about his legacy, about the Rhodes name. So I'm sold. As far as wherever he goes, I'm going to follow him. I think Lucha Underground would be the best fit for him. So now we know for sure that he's going to continue wrestling. I believe the last line in the letter said something along the lines of "I am a I am a wrestler, and I'm going to wrestle. I am a wrestler." What the fuck? Yeah, he said something along the lines of "I am a wrestler, and I'm going to wrestle." Um, so I think Lucha Underground would suit him very well. I think his Stardust gimmick might work there, which is something that I'm not sure he would want to do. But I feel like his Stardust gimmick would work better there. But I mean, his Cody Rhodes character may work as well because we saw that Alberto Del Rio got over just by being Alberto Del Rio, El Patron or whatever. So perhaps he can just get over being just Cody Rhodes. I wouldn't put it past him. I think he can. I think he'd have the most success in Lucha Underground. I think it would fit him the best because he's a great actor. Uh, and I think with him being in LA, it works out because he can also think about movie roles. We saw that he had that feud with the guy from Arrow, so maybe he'll be in Arrow. And with him being in LA, he'll be able to do both of those things at the same time. So I think Lucha Underground and being on actual TV, whether it be on Netflix or whatever the fuck, but being on TV in a more movie type role would definitely benefit him. Probably fill out his pockets as well. Um, I think he'd do great in New Japan. Like I said yesterday, I think it would take him about a year, maybe two, if he wants to become world champion. But as far as showing up and just doing really great, I think he'd do really great right out of the gate. I think him being a surprise entrance in the Super J Cup this year would be fantastic. And I think he gets far in the Super J Cup. I'm not sure if he wins it. Perhaps he would. I wouldn't put it past them to book him to win, and I wouldn't put it past him to be able to put on a performance worthy of winning. But I think he gets far in Super J Cup 2016 if he goes to Japan. And then I think it takes a little bit of adapting time because Japan is very hard hitting. It's very it's very tough. It's not WWE. It's different. You know what I mean? And then there's an adapting that has to go on before he can uh, truly show what he's capable of. There would be an adaptation period, in my opinion. But I think he could do great things in New Japan Pro Wrestling if given the opportunity and if he chooses to go that route. I think he could do great things in Ring of Honor. I think Ring of Honor would perhaps even crack under the pressure of such a celebrity being there. I think he'd do fantastic working Ring of Honor. I think he'd be champion in 6 months to a year down there. No matter how they decide to book him, I think he'd get insanely over. Um, and then I said that as far as like CMLL and AAA are concerned, he would have a little bit of a harder time. I think AAA would probably make accommodations for him and he would get over really quick. I think CMLL would be a completely different story because, like I said, they expect different styles of wrestling. Um, I'm not sure if any of the indie scene in the rest of the states and the rest of uh, Japan could afford him. The same goes for the indie scene in Britain. I could see him doing a few PWG shows, and that would be amazing as well. PWG is one of those places where he would be given the freedom to do whatever he wants, however he wants, and he can really like expand on his artistry and do different moves. You know what I mean? I think PWG would really broaden his horizons, and I think the fans would really appreciate just because of who he is and the lineage that he comes from. Um, I think PWG would mark the fuck out, and I think he would have a good time. Then they would put on a good match. Of course, PWG is also in LA, so that fits with the same thing of Lucha Underground and the movies and stuff. So I mean, we'll see. He has said that he will continue to wrestle, that he is a wrestler. So it's a thing about waiting and seeing. But Extreme Rules is about an hour and away. I hope you all enjoy it. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed my conversation here. Personally, if you're wondering what I would like to see personally, I want him in the Super J Cup, man. True story. I want Cody Rhodes versus Kushida. I think that would be really, really interesting. Um, yeah, I would like to see Cody Rhodes versus Kushida. That would be fun. Um, Cody Rhodes versus Liger. You know what I mean? That would be fun as well. You'd probably have to lose to Liger, but I mean, shit, it's Liger, so. Yeah, I would like Cody Rhodes in the Super J Cup. I would like to see what he can do out there. It's not the easiest route. In fact, it's probably one of the toughest, along with CMLL. But I would like to see it. I would personally like to see it. I think Cody can hang. Um, it may be difficult, like I said, and he may have to go back into the dojo and train and learn how to wrestle all over again. But if what he says is true about trying to bring, about carrying the sword of his last name and about it being a privilege and wanting to raise it up some more, then something along the lines of New Japan, ROH, or maybe even Lucha Underground, that's the way to go. Like TNA isn't going to do you any favors as far as that's concerned. At least I don't think it would. Um, Although TNA would be the most easiest, it's the easiest. He doesn't have to change anything. You just go to TNA and that's it. He's over. Going to the southern states. And if you're wondering why would it be so easy for him to go to TNA, I'll explain it for you. And that's that TNA is largely based in the south of the United States, and that's actually where Dusty made his name the most in the south. So if he were to go down there to the south of the United States as Cody Rhodes, like he's over. Like it's over. Like the fans will love him no matter what. He's a face automatically. And if he wants to pretend to be a bad guy and they want to boo him, they will boo him automatically just because his last name is Rhodes and they respect who he is. Like no, it would be easy for him to go down to TNA. As far as I'm concerned, from where I'm sitting. But I'm just a dude in his room in his comfortable ass chair. So what the hell do I know? Regardless, wherever Cody goes, I will be watching. He sold me on following him after WWE. So I want to see what he does with his career, and hopefully it'll be entertaining. As always, this has been Golden Era. I'm sorry, I rambled on for a while there. V for victory. Peace.